So it's the end of 2020. We're about to embark in 2021. And you know, I can't bear the stress anymore. It's time to talk about your underwear. That's right, your underwear. If you're a gentleman and you're watching this movie, let me let you in on a little secret, okay? 30 years with the same pair is too long. I was a boy, I did chores. I did laundry for my parents. My dad was the sharpest dressed man I ever knew, until I had to do his undies. They looked like the flag from Gettysburg. Like they were so full of holes you thought that they were a Civil War bandage, okay? It's time to move on with the old and get on with the new. Really. Now what do I mean by all this? Well, the reality is that this channel, of course, I try to talk about financial stuff, but I also try to talk about life stuff. And I'm going to use anything possible in my power to be able to connect and to relate to you. And the reality is that there's a lot of things in our life that we try to hang on to. We hang on to them because we're familiar with them. We hang on to them because, well, simply that's the way we've always done it. And I remember listening to Jim Gaffigan, a comedian, one of my favorites. And he did this bit on underwear, and he said, you know what? Your underwear is tired of covering your butt. It's tired of putting up with your crap. And it was so funny to me. But then it dawned on me, isn't that true about so many things in our life? I'm going to give you a for instance that's actually dealing with underwear. You know, I've got two young boys, Jacob and Solomon. And you know, as boys grow and they always end up wearing out their clothes and outgrowing their clothes and so on and so forth. One day it was my responsibility to take them to Walmart, to wherever we were going to go get clothes. And they wanted to go get new underwear because their underwear was getting too tight. And so I went to the typical aisle with the old grippies, right? The old grippies, the things that I had worn for 44 years. And they're like, no, Dad, no, you need boxers, Dad. Boxers are so comfortable. And I said, no, you should go with the tried and the true. But they convinced me that they wanted the boxers. So without them really knowing, probably about a month later, I got a pair of boxers. And you know what? They were absolutely right. Most comfortable things I'd ever worn in my life. And I was thinking, why has no one ever showed me this? Well, because I guess the apple didn't fall far from the tree. My dad was always a grippy guy, right? Well, let me ask you, how many things in your life do you do simply because you saw your parents do them? How many things do you do in life simply because society tells you that this is the way it needs to be done? You know, 2020 has been, for the most part, a blessing and a curse. It's been a curse in so many ways because we've seen such detrimental, I guess, damage to the economy and to different small businesses, and people have passed away and died because of coronavirus, and there's been all sorts of revolts in this country, and there's been protests, and it's just been kind of a crappy year. But you know what? There's also been some major blessings. We've learned to do things that we never thought were possible. We've stretched our mindset as to what we're capable of doing and how we're capable of doing it and what we can continue to do to progress in our lives, although things around us seem to be going into the shambles. And we're going into 2021, and I would almost bet that you watching this video have probably thought about a few things that you would like to change in 2021. I think it's human nature. And as a country, as a world, nobody wants to get into 2021 worse than we do, I think. We want to leave 2020 behind. But you want to know what else you want to leave behind? You want to leave behind all those preconceived ideas that aren't serving you. You want to leave behind all those habits that are not helping you, they're harming you. You want to leave behind those relationships that you know are not esteeming and lifting you up, but they keep on pressing you down. They keep on continuing to keep you down. And the person that you want to leave behind the most is the old you. your mindset. You want to launch into a new year with a totally different mindset. You know, of all the people that set New Year's resolutions, they say that only, I think it's 4%, maybe it's even 2, but it's like 4% of people actually follow through with the things that they want to do. Why? Because it is so much easier to go back to the old way of doing things. I don't care if it's the way that you save your money. I don't care if it's the way that you spend your money. I don't care if it's the way that you invest your money. I don't care if it's the way that you treat your spouse or your children or your friends. I don't care how you interact with your coworkers. The reality is that you have a perfect opportunity to go in a new direction. And all it takes is 1 degree of shift. Just 1 simple degree. That's it. But you've got to be able to do one thing for yourself. And that's leave behind all the things that aren't serving you. Maybe it's something as simple as saying, you know what, I'm going to try something new. I wasn't going to let my kids know that I tried out a pair of boxers. I just wanted to see what it was like. And I found it was a wonderful experience. There's so many people in this world that they're simply so afraid of trying something new because of failure. Listen, failure is the thing that helps us to grow. Failure is such a viable, important part of our life because it gives us feedback. It teaches us what's not working. And if you really have the incentive, you really have the drive, you really have the desire to be able to improve your life in a meaningful way, it's going to be important that you do fail. Because you fail and you adjust and you try again. And you fail and you adjust and you try again. As a financial advisor, let me tell you, your financial success is not completely and totally on me. I'm simply a cog in your wheel of retirement. I'm simply a spoke in your wheel. I'm not responsible for your house. You are. But you have to want that change. You have to desire that change so much that you're willing to forget and to leave off the old things that aren't serving you anymore. Open your mind to new ideas. Listen, observe. They say that readers are leaders. For 2021, I have some pretty audacious goals. But one of my audacious goals is to read 25 books. Now, if you know me, I will tell you I do a lot of reading, but I don't read books. I very rarely read books. I get into a book and then I get distracted and I move on. Well, this year I've committed myself to just personal development in reading because I've realized, you know what, the people that seem to be observing and paying attention to life and seeing the beauty in it are the ones that are actually consuming and stretching their mindset by reading. And I want to be one of those individuals. That's just one simple thing. But you know what? I've got to leave off that old story that doesn't serve me that says, well, I can't read a book cover to cover. Because you know what? That's an old stinky excuse. So, is it time to talk about your underwear? You bet it is. Is it time to maybe clean out your little dresser drawer and throw away the old underwear that's no longer serving you? That's tired and worn out? I think it is. And I don't care if I use humor to get your attention. I don't care if I use seriousness. But I care about you. I love you as a human being. And I want to see the very best you in 2021, just like you want to see the very best me in 2021. Now let's go make 2021 the year that we remember.